So what happens when you spend 7 hours in one day in a car with your colleague? Coming up right now, Markus Bornheim's going to interview Frank from Oecon, all about eCall.
Hey Frank, good to be here today. It's a very special day for Oecon today, right?
That's correct, yeah. We are celebrating our 25th birthday this year. I, for myself, I'm here for 10 years now. I'm the managing director of Oecon. Mm-hmm. We are developing products around the GNSS satellite systems, and we expect some changes in the next few years with car-to-car systems. This is our new idea where we're going to, but our main business, of course, is eCall.
Right, so connected car to infrastructure, eCall. Mm-hmm. We've been working on eCall, Avaya and Oecon. Tell us a little bit, what is eCall, Frank?
Well, eCall is a newly developed system, an automatic emergency system, which was introduced in 2003 by the European Union. They found out that there are several fatalities on European roads which can be avoided when you get the help a little bit faster to the passengers. And they said, okay, one of the systems which we can develop or introduce is an automatic system which calls the next public safety answering point directly without interfering of some people. Right. Maybe they are injured, they cannot call, so the car automatically calls the next piece up.
Okay, makes absolutely sense. And what is Oecon's role in eCall?
Oecon started in 2008 to develop systems for the automotive industry for eCall, and we said, okay, we do not want to develop systems that are integrated in the cars, the in-vehicle systems, but the opposite. Right. We developed some test systems for the automotive industry, and it was a big success. Almost all OEMs and their suppliers are using our technology now at this time.
Right, okay. And that's exactly the point where Oecon and Avaya started to work, as Avaya is providing systems for the public safety answering points, which by EU law need to update to become eCall compliant. And we discovered that your technology for decoding the eCall itself and the embedded information does nicely fit into an Avaya environment.
And we started working together when we found out that our systems also can be used for the PSAPs, because we have an eCall decoder, and it is the same technology as you use it for a test system or for the PSAP. And then we said, okay, we can have some kind of eCall decoding, some eCall router, and this was a basic component which can be integrated perfectly in the Avaya system.
Right, exactly. So looking back, eCall has quite a legacy. You mentioned it started in 2003, and we are just, I think, 2 weeks after the due date for the European PSAP organizations to become ready to implement eCall. Now we're introducing eCall as it has been developed so far. What do you see as the future of eCall? Where are we going?
Well, as you said, eCall was introduced in 2003, and the technology is 2003. It is very outdated. Yeah, but we are expecting some new kinds of technology, like the transition from ISDN to SIP. Exactly. Yeah, where we can transmit the data immediately, and we do not have to wait for 10 seconds. This is the normal transmission time which we have now. We can also expect to transmit additional data, like video streams, like audio communications between the caller and the people in the PSAP. They can even send some, let's say, information video help for the people injured, so they can do some basic help without the rescue people.
Right. So I think this is a great approach in order to make the roads in Europe more safe. But we are now talking about introducing it into the national emergency communication operators. But we have eCall also on the private side, on the car manufacturer side. So how do you see the link between the car manufacturers that do have some kind of eCall systems already in place, and this leads to confusion in people's understanding what eCall is, and the 112 eCall?
This is a very interesting question. Because the automotive industry, they are very interested in introducing the eCall technology, not because of the emergency calls, of the 112 calls, but of using the technology itself. This is the first time when we see that a component is integrated in every new car, in all of the new cars, which is able to transmit not only voice, like a telephone, but also data. Yeah? And they are very interested in transmitting, let's say, car data, of status on the motor or something like that, into their repair centers. So they don't use it as an emergency call for 112 when you need help from a rescue service, but when you need help from a garage.
Right. So the emergency situation is a side effect of the customer care process in that way. And so here we see where the eCall technology and customer care processes are coming together. And probably you will need to see over the next couple of years how private organizations' customer care, once they turn out to have a real emergency call, which started as a breakdown call, in their customer care center, they can transfer this into the 112 organizations. Is there something that is already clearing up here?
This is one of the two interfaces which are currently developing within the PSAPs. There's one thing, they have to be connected to the private systems, to the to TPS services to receive their data, because they all have additional data which they can be used in emergency situations, but also the connections between the PSAPs themselves. To combine different PSAPs and exchanging information from one PSAP to another.
Yeah, and I think this is the interesting part for both of our companies. There's going to be integration of different kind of services and probably also different kind of technologies that are currently under consideration by standardization bodies, but maybe also technologies that are more leading into the wider IoT conversation.
Yeah. You know, we have done different implementations in different countries, and you know they are all asking for this.
Yes, and every implementation is a little bit different depending on how a country decides to operate in order to become eCall compliant.
Yeah.
So, Frank, thank you very much. Last question from my side. How was your experience working with Avaya over the past couple of years?
Oh, well, very interesting, I must say. The cooperation with Avaya is the deepest cooperation which we made with eCall because of the integration of the system. Yeah, we delivered some kind of decoding, but then the integration into the Avaya system is very complex on one side, but it is perfect on the other side. Yeah. It is a system which we have used many times in the past, and I think which we can use in the future even more.
Excellent. Frank, I wish you a very successful afternoon on the 25th
Thank you very much.
anniversary, and it was great having you in front of Andrew's camera today.
Thank you.